Hello everyone, welcome to National Defence Institute. So today in this video we shall discuss about NDA 2's 2021 geography questions. So let's dive into the questions. The first question, which one from the following planets is largest in the size? See, we all know that largest planet what we have is our Jupiter, but the condition here what they have given is all your inner planets, all your terrestrial planets. So along that, if we take, of course we have our Earth is the biggest one, then we have your Venus, then Mars, last what we have is our Mercury. So with that arrangement what we can see is largest in the size is the Earth. Alright, fine. Here again they have given the question with respect to match the following. So here the question with respect to place and the feature. So here they have given the places of the ports. So the first one is with respect to Mumbai, Visakhapatnam, Chennai and Kochi. See, your Mumbai port is the biggest port of India. So A we have 2 that can be matched. So wherever we have 2, automatically D is matched with a 1. So we can eliminate C and D. So D, Kochi is what we call it as your Queen of Arabian Sea, and the Chennai is the oldest port of the eastern coast, because during colonial era itself the Chennai port was much developed. So that was the oldest port what we have on the eastern coast, and the Visakhapatnam is a landlocked one. So for that only there were docking and these things are quite difficult over there, but still not a much good natural harbor. Because of the development and the possibilism of the geography, we have created this Visakhapatnam. So the answer for this, if B is matching with 3 and C is with 4, so what we can go for option B. So answer for this question is your option B. Alright, next one, which one among the following is a crater lake? See, crater lake is something can be formed when you have your meteorites that has been fall down and formed your crater, and where you will be having a rainfall and that might be filling and formed your crater lake. Another crater lake where you will be having a caldera, where you have your volcano that is going to be forming and crater can be developed, and where you will be having a rainfall and that is going to be filled with water, and we call that as a crater lake. So like that, crater lake can be developed in many other forms also. But here, which among the following is the crater lake they are asking? See, Sambar lake is something that is found in the Rajasthan region, which is much of your dry part. Chilka is on the coast. So, and Vembanar is also along the Kerala region. So Lonar lake in the Maharashtra region, what it is majorly formed of your meteorites that have fallen, and that is the one we call it as your crater lake. Alright, so these are all much asked because they were in the much current affairs. So kindly go through that. So this is the one of the type of crater lake, that is your Lonar lake. Next question, fine grained bed of ephemeral lake in a desert. See, ephemeral is nothing but a seasonal. Perennial is like throughout the year. So when you don't have the water in that lake, for example, if this is a lake and that lake is somewhat evaporated and the water everything is evaporated, and you have a fine grained bed, that bed is called as what? So oasis is something you all know is some sort of a region where you have water in the desert region. So that cannot be the answer. Drumlin is the one which is found in the glacier landscape, and natural levee is where you will be having when the river is flowing and the sideways deposition along the river, we call it as natural levee. So the only option left out is your playa. So playa, and along with that is your bajada, which is the one which can be seen in your desert region. So fine grained bed is your playa. Okay, next one, which one of the following factors does not affect the distribution of groundwater? See, we all know that groundwater is another major source of the fresh water. So obviously the amount of precipitation, it does, yes, the rate of evaporation, that also does, no. because when you have your evaporation is increased, your water table will completely fall down. That means it is going completely down because all the water is getting evaporated, and even though if you do digging or you try to do irrigation, you don't find the water table, so groundwater will be depleted. So of course it is a matter of the distribution of groundwater. Ability of the ground surface to allow water to infiltrate into the groundwater system, yeah, that is also one of the main factor, no, because sometimes what happens, there will be an impermeable layer, there might be an permeable layer which allows the groundwater to go. That's why if you dig in for the bore well, you don't find much of your water table finding, because there is a ability of the ground surface to make that to infiltrate. So that is also a reason. Distance from the sea, so this is not something a proper one, so does not affect the distribution of the groundwater is the answer D. So that is the option D. Which one of the following statements about the biodiversity is not correct? See, what is biodiversity? Of course, where you have your biosphere, where the diversity of the species is more, where you have your lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. If you take lithosphere, if you take this as your hydrosphere and this as your atmosphere, the region where you have your biosphere. So biodiversity was coined by Walter G. Rosen. Yes, of course, that is also right. The term biodiversity hotspots was coined by Norman Mayers. Yes, that is also right. What do you mean by hotspots? That is where the rich biodiversity is present. That's why we call it, and they are much prone to some of the hazards. So we have to safeguard those things, because lot of endemic species, lot of vascular plants and all are present over that region. So regions having the richest biodiversity are called biodiversity hotspots. Yes, of course, that is also right, but they are asking the not correct one. See, more than 100 hotspots of biodiversity identified in the world. No, still not that much. We have almost like 34 to 35, almost 4%. So of course, if that is the case, your 100 number is not the one. So when you have this kind of exact figures, no, that is likely to be wrong. So which of the not correct is your option D. Next one, the Earth's atmosphere is mainly heated by which one of the following? Short wave solar radiation, reflected solar radiation, long wave terrestrial radiation, scattered solar radiation. See, we all know that in the Earth we have an atmosphere where the sunlight comes as your short wavelength and reaches the Earth, and some of the radiations will be reflected back. Those radiations, when they are reflected back, that we treat as the albedo of the atmosphere. So when that is reflected back, that is there is nowhere seen that is heating your atmosphere. So obviously reflected solar radiation does not. Solar wavelength, short wave solar radiations, of course it is entering into the Earth and it is going as a long wavelength. When that is going, you will be having some of the greenhouse gases that is present. Because of the greenhouse gas effect, this terrestrial radiation waves gets accumulated here and make the temperature of the atmosphere to be little rising, and that is the actual reason for your Earth's atmosphere to be getting heated. So obviously the answer for this is your long wave terrestrial radiation, which is majorly reflected from the Earth's surface. Alright, so answer for this is C. Next one, which one of the following is the correct sequence of the layers as we move from the Earth's surface upwards? See, if in the layer of the atmosphere, first layer what we have is your troposphere, then we have stratosphere, then mesosphere, then thermosphere and exosphere. So in between this we have your ionosphere. So obviously the answer for this what we can go is thermosphere, stratosphere, troposphere, stratosphere, thermosphere. No, that is wrong. Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere. Yes, this is the right one. Excuse me. Which one of the following best describes the lithosphere? See, if we when we are studying about the interior of the Earth, we have something called lithosphere, as I discussed. So if this is your crust, mantle, and you have your core. So you everywhere you will be having a upper crust and inner crust, upper mantle, inner mantle. So what do we consider our lithosphere as? Your crust plus upper mantle. So we call that as our lithosphere. So answer for this can be your option C. So crust and upper mantle together we consider it as our lithosphere. Next one, which one of the following countries has the maximum time difference with Greenwich meridian? See, if we take the world map, so if we take world map and if we have what we consider Greenwich meridian as the 0° longitude that is flowing along here, so Greenwich meridian, so this we consider towards east, this we consider it as the west. So obviously India has its own standard time, that is 82.5 degree or 3 east longitude. So they are asking the maximum time difference from the Greenwich meridians. We do have maximum time difference of 5.5 hours. So when that is 5.5 hours, what exactly Nepal is somewhat, if you take India, so Nepal is present over here, so our IST somewhat falls here, and you have your Sri Lanka, and of course which is the farthest one what we have is your Bhutan. So in the given option, Bhutan is somewhat farthest from the Greenwich meridian. When that is the case, that will be having the maximum time difference. So obviously answer for your 10th question is Bhutan. Next one, the Tropic of Cancer does not pass through which one of the following states? See friends, these are all the direct questions. Some of the questions which are related to the latitudes and major longitudes. So it's here they are asking with respect to states. They might ask even with respect to the countries also. So for that, we know almost 8 states along the India we have the Tropic of Cancer that is passing, maybe Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, like that. We have, of course, West Bengal does pass, Gujarat yes, Jharkhand yes, not Manipur. It's the Mizoram and your Tripura in the northeastern states. So answer for this will be your does not pass is your Manipur. Next one, which of the following pairs of crop food product are correctly matched? See, food crop ragi, yes, that is right. So answer has to be in A and C. B is wrong, D is wrong. Cash crop jute, yes, you can take that as also your cash crop, because along with jute we have our cotton also. So when you have two, plantation crop, of course coconut. So answer can be your option C. This is a simple one. Next one, which one of the following coalfields is not located in Jharkhand? See, this is the question where you have your major mineral sources. So with this mineral sources, what we are asking is they are not located in the Jharkhand. So majorly this Jharkhand Chhattisgarh region obviously falls in the region of Chotanagpur plateau, which is much rich in your metallic minerals. So the answer for this, Jharia, Ramgarh, Deoghar are of course present in your Jharkhand. They are much rich in your coal and iron mining, but this one, they are all much rich in your coal mine, and the Umaria is in exactly present not in that, it is present in the Madhya Pradesh region. So of course that is having a extensive forest region and not much good in the metallic mineral, but they also found much of the coal fields. So this Umaria is present in Madhya Pradesh, and rest of the things are present in your Jharkhand. So along with that, we have some of the Madhya Pradesh region, Singrauli, Sohagpur, Joila, Umaria, Satpura coalfield, they are all present in your Madhya Pradesh. So answer for this not present is your Umaria is D. Next one, which one of the following is the longest parallel of latitude? See, if the earth, if we are drawing the latitudes, the longest latitude of course what we have is our equator itself. So obviously it is very simple directed question, answer is your D, equator. The periodic rise and fall of ocean water in response to gravitational force is called, say, the movement of ocean waters takes place with respect to the molecules For example, we have current, we have waves, tides and tsunami. So current is majorly is the movement of ocean water because of the temperature difference. We have your waves. In waves, water doesn't move, actually the energy that does move, and that has some of the influencing characters. But here the question is directly asking about the periodic rise and fall of ocean water, gravitational force, that is of course your tides. Because when we have if this is your sun, this is the moon, and this is the earth, so we do have the gravitational pull of sun and moon, and that makes your spring tide here, or you are having a centrifugal force makes your high tide here, and this region where you will be having a low tide. Similarly, when the moon revolves around the earth and coming over here, there will be a both pull by the two astronomical objects, so obviously you will be having gravitational pull that is making your water to rise and fall. But when they are in perpendicular position like this, for example sun, earth and moon, when they are in the perpendicular position, there will be a cancellation of your centrifugal force and gravitational force. That's why that will be having a much of your neap tide condition. So obviously the answer for this is your option C. Let's go for the next one. So match the following. See, this is also very simple question where you have much of your dams given and the states that have been asked. So when you have the match the following, in the earlier videos we have told some of the easiest technique. So here we all know that sorrow of Bihar is your Kosi. So when we have that one as mind, wherever you have C matched with 2, we can retain that, and rest of things we can cancel it out. So obviously when this is matched, what is the other thing that is automatically matched is your B is 4. So obviously B is 4 is nothing but Panchet is Jharkhand. Ukai, Hirakud, you know, that is in Orissa. Ukai is a dam that is considered on the Tapi river. So D is 1, D is 1, A is 3. So answer for this is your option A. So when you have the match the following, it is an easy way to find the proper answer. Okay. Next question. Which one of the following features is the result of erosion and deposition work of a river? Say here they are talking about the both erosion and deposition work. So one thing you have to be sure about the landform agent, making agents like glacier, running water, groundwater and your wind. So you should know what are the erosional landforms and depositional landforms for every kind of a agent. So here they are asking about the running water or the river. So when that is asked, see pothole, they are majorly your erosional one, so that cannot be the answer. Then you have levees. Levees is also, as I told you, it is a river that is flowing and laying certain amount of deposits on the sideways, on the lateral ends, we call it as levees. And the natural levees, for example, if you see the side view, if the water is flowing here in this direction, this is what we call levees. Rapid is some kind of a erosional one. If you have a water that is flowing along slope, that may make your waterfall to go like this, and that is what we call it as rapids. The only option what we have is your oxbow lake, because when the river gets meandering, you will be having that on the curvature side, you will be having an erosional one and you will be having a depositional one. So both combines at the end, that might make one sort of oxbow lake, and this meandering may connect like this and the water may flow like this. So the oxbow lake that has been formed because of the erosion deposition, that is the actual result of the erosion and deposition of the running water, that is your oxbow lake. Next one, which one of the following is not a feature of agriculture in India? See, here also some of the major negative connotation questions were asked. So of course in India, subsistence agriculture is one of the prominent feature. Pressure of population agriculture, yes, that is right, no, because we have much of the surplus population which is surpassing China by 2023, and dependence upon monsoon, of course we are much rain fed agriculture and much dependent on the rainfall. So predominance of cash crops, see when you have the pressure of population on agriculture, how can you grow much of your cash crops? We have to depend upon much of our food grains, no, or the food crops. So we cannot have that one. So obviously, which is not a feature is your predominance of cash crops is not the one. Okay, so next one. So like that you have to mix the statements and you have to compare. There only they will be giving the clue. Next one, which one of the following is not a specified submission of the National Livestock Mission? See, National Livestock Mission was brought down by the Agriculture Farmers and Agriculture Farmers Welfare and Animal Husbandry. So in that they have a submissions. See, livestock development is one of the important mission, of course. Then fodder and feed development, yes. Skill development, that is nothing but the extension. What they want to have this one. But pig development in the northwestern region is something like pure specific. Since missions will be having some sort of a broad idea like livestock development, fodder development, skill development. Here they are confining themselves to the piggery. So this cannot be the actual submission. So not specified one is your option B. Alright. Next one. Which one of the following is not a soil forming factor? See, we all know that there are many factors for making your soil profile. So for that, of course, parent matter material, yes, influences. Topography, yes, that is another important thing, because when you have your slope like this, you will be having your running water or the wind that is going to be having a flowing more, making more erosion, not much giving much time for your soil profile to build. So topography matters. You have your much vegetation here, so that also matters. So topography does matters. And parent material, yes, when you have some of the rocks that are formed because of the parent material denudation itself, that makes your soil characters. For example, you have your red soil because of the igneous rocks that is present, much of your metallic presence or the iron content, that forms red soil. Of course, parent material does factor. Climate, yes, that is right, no, because when we have our earth and much of our soil that is present along the tropics region are different, if you go towards the polar region are different. So obviously the fertility and other context, the contents of the soil actually matters because of the climate. So climate do influence. So human habitation, see, human habitation, of course it influences, but the condition here is these three are your geomorphic factors, and this is something like, even though if there is no human habitation in some land, naturally there will be soil formation that is going to take place. So it is not a mandatory one, but it can influence when you have much of your habitation present. But the condition when you have a nearest of nearest answer, so not a soil forming factor is your D, because even though you don't have human habitation, soil do form. So these three are the major one and the D is the not one. Alright. So thank you, thanks for watching, and for further videos kindly do watch our other videos. Thank you, one and all.